Oh, hey there. Ah! God, I'm such an awkward little boy. What's up, boys? What's up, JT? Oh, I forgot to start the audio recording. No! Yeah, I wear other clothes. God, so embarrassing. I can't believe I wore the exact same jumper. 2 videos in a row. And they're set a month apart. I don't know how I've done that. But I noticed it when I was editing. I was like, wait, hold on. What I wear in the last video? Just because I was interested. And it turns out I wore the exact same jumper. And I think the entire fit might have been the exact same. But this time, look at me. No jumper, just t-shirt. I even changed up the glasses. You know, just to make extra sure that I 100% am not wearing the exact same clothes as last time. Can we go 2 months in a row wearing different stuff? We'll have to find out. But let's just get straight in to the April 2024 media stuff. If you're new, I talk about stuff that I consumed, not the food kind, like watching, listening. That's kind of it. But you can read anime. Just to start the month off right, we're starting straight off with Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. Now you're probably wondering, how is he still talking about this? The show ended like 4 months ago. It ended before this year even started, so the fact that I was able to, first of all, talk about it in January kind of makes sense. And then February, I can't remember what I talked about, but I did talk about it. And now in March, we're talking about it again. But this time, I probably have a better excuse than last month. Because the Blu-ray for episode 17 has come out. Well, not just episode 17. It's like a whole bunch. I think we're still do one more Blu-ray, I want to say, for like the last 3 episodes. But the most important Blu-ray, episode 17, has come out. And they've actually added scenes. Which is something I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. At least in my experience. Like, I know they do changes in Blu-ray. Like, there's just a guy who like compares all the Blu-ray and TV differences. He did that a lot for Attack on Titan. And they would never reanimate full action scenes. Like, they'd sometimes correct drawings for like when they're just like talking. Since that doesn't really require that much effort compared to like full action scene. But we actually got the finished Wayland Zanka, thank God. And it's beautiful. But first, I just want to say, rip to the plane crashing animation. That was a hype animation. It was actually really well done. But its death was not in vain, because from the ashes we got the Wailing Zanka. Yeah, if you haven't seen episode 17 of JJK, go back and rewatch it now. It's slightly more cohesive. We didn't just get one more cut, we got quite a few new cuts. And they do make it feel more cohesive. Sometimes it's like, wait, what? It just kind of shows the shame of what we missed out. Yeah, if these animes were given more time, we could have had an even more hype episode. But the episode is still hype as. I mean, we got added some more shading onto certain cuts, like Mahoraga. Is it Mahoraga? Is that how you pronounce it? Because I know they subbed it as Makoraga. But everyone types it as Mahoraga. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say it before. Yeah, so added more shading, but it's all undimmed now. So really, what you should do is you should watch all of JJK Season 2 again, since it's now undimmed, so you can actually watch it without going like, oh. Well, it's undimmed, unghosted. Ghosting is really what kills it. But it looks good now. And yeah, to just end off the JJK section, I want to thank the animators, thank the sound design, the compositing team, and most importantly of all, Flip Mappa. What a freak man about Otsuka, am I right, boys? This is basically all his fault. As bad as it is that Toho was no breaks, they did specifically say in their contract, oh, we want season 2 done in 2 years after the movie. But then Manabu Otsuka was snorting the crack cocaine, and he was like, we're gonna animate Chainsaw Man in the middle of that. And now we're in the cycle of Chainsaw Man JJK. But moving on from the disastrous production that was JJK, moving on to a production which had quite an average schedule, so it's still not very healthy. But the planning team, producers, they did well. Because Free Run is officially over. Rest in peace. Waiting for the season 2, which I don't know we'll ever have. I feel like Madhouse has quite the track record of just not doing any season 2s. Like, they did One Punch Man season 1. They did Sunny Boy, which I want to watch but I haven't seen. But that's only one season. Free Run. Those are the only Madhouse productions I can think of. Attack Dot Destiny, that was a Mappa cross production. That was still one season. So I don't know if we're going to season 2 of Free Run, but I was trying to talk about my thoughts on the series. And I said this in the last video, but I've really grown to enjoy Free Run. I'm quite the fan now, I guess you could say. I don't think I'm going to read the manga for this. Like, the ending of season 1 didn't really leave me... I want more Free Run. But, I can wait. I've seen how good of a job the entire team has done. I'm like, I can wait for this. And also, Free Run kind of leans more slice of life. I know we've just come out of the big tournament arc, but even that arc, it was still quite slice of life here. So I think hopefully I'll just wait for Free Run. This video kind of marks the end of the winter anime season, which means next video we'll talk about all the new shows coming out, and then May will just be kind of dead because we'll just be in the middle of everything. Hopefully you guys are excited to see what I'm going to be watching, because I don't actually know what I'm going to be watching yet. I've seen a few shows that have piqued my fancy, but I don't think if it's anything like the last few seasons, I'm probably going to start watching a few of them, but then halfway through I'll just fall off. I'll stop watching. Anyway, if you haven't watched Free Run, watch Free Run. If you like fantasy, you like Free Run. If you like slice of life, you like Free Run. If you like romance, you love Free Run. Just watch Free Run. The animation is great. The direction is so good. The music is fantastic. It's kind of it's become popular. It's nice to see that it's, it started off not that popular, but as it's gone on, I feel like more and more people have jumped on the Free Run train, and now we're all waiting for season 2. So please, Madhouse, please give us a season 2 of Free Run, I beg. The show has a lot of exciting places you can go next. I talked about it last time, but the Demon King flashback would go crazy. I don't know if that exists yet. I have no idea how close we are to the current manga, but it's gonna be hype. You can just tell. You can see it slowly being built up to, and it's gonna be hype. And I think at the current time, Free Run is the only anime we'll be talking about today that doesn't have a season 2 or a next season announced, which leads me perfectly into the next one. No, it doesn't. That was a horrible transition. But I'm going to talk about Solo Leveling. And I was right with the fast food analogy. Solo Leveling really is the fast food of this season. It's hype, it tastes great, but it never left me full. And even to the end, it was kind of like that. But apparently, we got a season 2 coming this year, which is either a good thing or a bad thing. It's like good that we're getting season 2 so early, but it's like, yeah, that's not a lot of time. Like, we're already in March. They probably, hopefully, they've already started production. I imagine they have, because they have shown some. They didn't like release a teaser trailer, which did have some new stuff, but they could have easily pre-animated it. I think. Is it pre-animated? It's like the thing Hell's Paradise does, or did, when that was like a big controversy, where they just like animated just the trailer. But yeah, the ending of Solo Leveling, I feel like the hype justified it, you know? The last 2 episodes, they really showed the like action capabilities. I know the action team for the show is actually quite small, considering how much, like how heavy the action is in the series, which probably explains why we didn't get that much action. If you like looked at a Solo Leveling episode, you'd see that it's like, or the entire series of Solo Leveling, you'd probably see that action and just like them talking is like 50-50. It's like from a lot of that action is just from like the last 2 episodes. Like we have some episodes of Solo Leveling where it's just them talking, and I feel like it is done quite well. It does add up to hype. But yeah, with this small team they've done a really good job. You know, some good planning has gone into the show, and I feel like gotta respect that. Like the last 2 episodes, the action was crazy. Like these are detail heavy characters. Like these knights, or it's basically like the one knight Igris. But their ability to get this guy to move was like incredible. He was moving too. He wasn't just like, it wasn't limited. They really went all out. And then the last episode was Verkriegen. You gotta talk about Verkrieg, but I can't believe they got him on the show. He was on JJK season 2. He was on Free Run, Solo Leveling, episode 12. Like, if you don't know who Verkrieg is, young talented animator, and he probably the best sequence from Free Run animated by Verkrieg. I can't really remember his JJK cut. I remember the decision of not long ago, but it was still like an impressive cut. But it's not the standout cut in JJK, because JJK is such a like a animator free show, kind of like Mob Psycho, where the best sequence in JJK is going to just come down to your preference and like what you like. If you like park action, you'd probably like one of Park's cuts. If you like just balls to the walls, you'd like literally any cut from the Miso episode. Yeah, honestly, Solo Leveling, hype. I kind of wish I just waited for the show to end and just binged it all. Because like I said, waiting weekly didn't never really give you enough. But that could probably be said for the entire first season too. But yeah, hype with season 2. Hopefully the production doesn't get any worse. And yeah, I will be sitting waiting. And the last anime I want to talk about is Apocryphy Diaries, which is a show that I haven't talked about in a while, since like the first one. That's because I just stopped watching it. But this month I caught up to it all, and yeah, it's good. I would say it's better than Solo Leveling. Like overall, excited. Yeah, I had a good time. I love the characters. All the characters done well. I feel like the Apocryphy Diaries focuses very heavily on the main character. Like with other shows, they will focus on side characters, but Apocryphy Diaries, the main character is always in the center. But I feel like which could make like side characters feel very based off traits and like tropes and stuff. But I feel like it's really well balanced. Like we see enough of the side characters where you have like that deeper understanding. And yeah, if you haven't watched it, it's just basically a girl who goes around solving mysteries in like a royal court in China or something, in ancient China to be specific, not that damn CCP. But yeah, there's some romance, mystery. I feel like the entire show kind of, or at least in the second half of the show, it kind of just builds up to this like one climactic moment, and I feel like it has like a antagonist, I guess you could say. I feel like the antagonist is really good. Either, you know, it's all a matter of perspectives, I guess you could say. Like, you think he's a bad guy, but he's not. He's my goat, like, and he's just autistic. You see you see the autistic father and the autistic daughter, and you see how they just complete each other. I'm waffling so hard. I didn't write anything down for this, so I'm just... the first opening was a banger. Second one, not it, chief. But yeah, Apocalypse Diaries, there's some like really well animated episodes. I can't remember which episode it was or who animated, but one of them is like really well animated. But overall, I'd give Apocryphy Diaries a 9 out of 10. And I'm hyped for season 2 because the season 2 has been announced. And that's it for anime. Moving on, we have the movies.
Sometimes I stand in the middle of the floor, not going left, not going... Oh, Lord.
We're starting this off with the banger. Master with Cracked Fingers. Or at least that's what it's called in Prime. I can't remember. It has a different name, because I checked the IMDb. And it has a different name. But... I'll give you a little bit of context. This is Jackie Chan's first ever like main character role, at least, and let me give you the plot. It's about a guy who gets taught martial arts by some homeless man who lives in a forest. He doesn't have a house, but you could like argue that the homeless man's house is the forest, so he does have a home. So he's not homeless. He's just a man who lives in a forest. His dad doesn't like this, so he beats him. He starts off learning as a child, and he grows up, and then he gets like harassed by some triad, and he just fights them over and over again, which makes the film really, really boring. But the fights look cool, so it's okay. The plot is, it exists, you know, it's really average. It is the classic revenge plot. Spoilers, his dad dies, and then he goes to beat them up, and then his like friend, not even friends, he just gets the acquaintance dies, and he goes rah, and then he kills someone. I think he kills him, or he just beats him up. No, he knocks him off a cliff, I'm pretty sure. The ending of the film, not the climax part, the pre-climax is really good. It's like it's the part of the doc where it's like not the final fight, but in my opinion, it's like the best fight in the show. That's really well done. 10 out of 10. Like the film's pacing is just like way too fast. Like so fast where it feels like the film is missing scenes. And I don't know if that's because they actually are missing scenes, or if they're like, don't understand this, let's just skip this part. It probably also doesn't help that the film's editing is really bad too. Oh yeah, the start of the film when like the young guy, I think he's just a kid. He meets the homeless man, and the homeless man just makes him strip off all his clothes and get in a bag. And I was like, wait, where is this story going? I was like, hold on. At that point, I genuinely had no idea. I said before that the plot was like average and basic and just like. But at that point in the film, that film could have gone anywhere, and it chose the most boring option. And like the back had snakes in too. I watched the film on Prime, as I do. What don't I watch on Prime? And for some reason on Prime it said it came out in 2021. And then I checked. And it's from the 70s. Oh, and I did write it down, and it's called The Snake Fist Fighter. I also didn't even realise that it was a Jackie Chan film till I watched it. And I looked at it. I looked at the main character. I was like, wait, he kind of looks like Jackie Chan. And I was like, wait, this film was from 2021. How can it be Jackie Chan? He's like 80. I was like, whoa, I'm racist. And then I looked on IMDb and it was Jackie Chan, and I was like, I'm not racist. I just know how Jackie Chan looks. Like, the film's climax comes out of absolutely nowhere. So basically, like, Jackie Chan has just been fighting the triads for like the entire film, and then they finally have enough. And then, so he beats like the boss, but then the boss is as a boss who's like this gets foreshadowed at the start, and he's like the GOAT martial artist. But like we see like nothing. We see him at the start when he's young, and we just see him when he's old. And then like they just fight, and Jackie Chan wins. Like, I think the climax of the film happens when Jackie Chan was just training for the climax, and then he just appears, and then they just fight. Like, there was like no build up. There was build up, but we're like in the middle of the build up when the climax happens. In the acting in the film, nothing to talk about really. The best part is like the action. I feel like everyone who does the action here, fantastic, fantabidozy job. Oh, and the homeless guy and the gambler guy, they were probably the best characters acting wise in the show. Like, when the homeless guy does the conga and the gambler guy exists, like, they were funny. They were funny guys. They were well written and they were acted well. And yeah, that's kind of it on Snake Fist Fighter / Master with Cracked Fingers. Would I recommend this film? If you're a die-hard Jackie Chan fan, then you've probably seen this film, but if you haven't, you should give it a watch. But if you're a regular person who does regular person stuff, no, I would say watch the highlights and you'd probably have just as good of a time. Actually, I do remember one thing. There is one really memorable thing about this film. And that is, it has one of the smoothest transitions of all time. And that smooth transitioned us perfectly into the next movie. I watched Ted. Yeah, the one with the teddy by Seth MacFarlane. I'm thinking of Seth MacFarlane simp. Like, he's kind of my goat. Have you heard him in that Future song? Bro can sing. He can draw. He can write. He can direct. What can't this man do? And he can produce. Like, he made an OG Family Guy. Funny as hell. American Dad. That show was great. I feel like heavily underrated and not talked about enough. Ted 1, it was a solid movie. I'm pretty sure it was his directorial debut, and it was a good movie. Oh, he can act too. So I'm pretty sure he acted in something. I can't remember what, but he did act in something. I probably had a solid performance. I've only seen Ted 1, and yeah, it was a solid film. Yeah, that's kind of it. I feel like, is it like anything crazy? Like, is the story structure anything like you wouldn't expect? No. I feel like you can watch the first like 10 minutes and you can understand, oh yeah, I see where this is going. But it's still enjoyable. I feel like the idea of Ted is pretty good idea. Pretty interesting. Whereas like this guy just wished the teddy bear to be real, and then he was. And he kind of ruined his life. Like, just socially speaking, because his social skills would practice talking to a teddy bear. But I feel like, the character's all good. One thing I did like though is, like, you have the two main characters, Ted and Mark Wahlberg, who I can't remember whose name was in the film. And you'd expect them to have like some sort of big argument at the end, like what happens in the In-Between, not the In-Between, like 21 Jump Street or like Superbad, where like the two main guys are like, this is all your fault, no, this is your fault, grah, and then they split up, and then they realise, oh wait, I love you, and they make out passionately. But that doesn't happen in Ted, which is kind of a bummer with them making out bad, but he's a Teddy, so I can see why they wouldn't do that. But I think it actually makes sense. Like, once you know someone for long enough, you won't argue with them because you're like, I know you. You're not gonna change your opinion on this, so there's no point. Like, I'm glad that doesn't happen in Ted. Like, they actually act like adults. I guess even though they're like the most two childish people, they actually have each other's back. So that's kind of a W. And yeah, that's kind of all my thoughts on Ted. I feel like they good job to the CG team who were able to like get Ted in there, and good job to the actors who were still able to do like good performances, even though like they're talking to like. If it's anything, isn't like Dobby from Harry Potter just like a 10 spell? If that was the same as for Ted, good job, Mark Wahlberg. You get an A+. And we're moving on to the next film now, which was Knives Out. And yeah, it's a tight movie. Solid. All actors in the film, great performance. Story was good. It was able to keep you guessing quite well. Like at the start, I'm like, oh, it was that person, and I was like, oh wait, it was the cleaner. The cleaner killed him. Spoilers, by the way. My favorite performances in the film: Daniel Craig. I can't believe they gave him like a southern accent. I'm just used to him being James Bond, and to give him a southern accent was kind of funny. And I also like Chris Evans' performance. I think I'm just a Chris Evans simp though, so it's nice to see the foreshadowing that happens in the film. All the characters are written well. I also really like the house the film takes place. Like, I feel like the chair with all the knives, that's cool. It's just like, this is what I would expect a millionaire like storyteller's house to look like. Like, have you seen Oda's house? Oh, it's like a shark in his bathroom. It's not an actual shark, but it's like it's still a shark, you know. And that's it for movies. I kind of thought I'd watch more, but I didn't. What a shame. Guess I'll just have to watch more next one. Because what I did end up doing a lot this month was playing more games. And this month was very Sea of Thieves heavy. I played quite a bit of Sea of Thieves, and you know, it's a fun game. It can be quite relaxing. It can be quite exciting. You know, and it just really let me live out my One Piece dreams of being a pirate on the oceans and sailing and treasure hunting. I quite enjoy the fishing in the game. You know, sometimes I just sit on my boat and just fish. I actually made friends. I made Sea of Thieves friends. My voice chat doesn't work in the game, and I've googled how to fix voice chat, and the way you do it is like deleting windows or something like that. And I was like, I'd rather just be deaf. So I can't hear no one, so I just dance and I like give them fish. And then I was invited to someone's guild, so I joined. And I haven't seen them since. I burned their ship down too, with them. I would never do that I would never do that to a friend. I would never burn their fish down, their ship down without permission. But yeah, I think the problem with Sea of Thieves is that it's like the best way I can put this is just really mid. Like after a while, it just gets boring because you like there's two things you can do. You can either hunt other people down or you can hunt treasure. And after a while, they both get really boring. And I feel like the locations in Sea of Thieves, not that memorable. Like there's just nothing to do on the islands other than like the treasure, which I kind of hope they change up a bit. I downloaded the game again because I saw like a trailer for like it's like the roadmap for what they want to add, and I just saw it and I was like, oh, that's some cool stuff they're like hoping to add. So I downloaded it in hopes that I'd actually play it. But it's definitely one of those games where it's like, oh, every 6 months, like, oh, you know, I feel like playing Sea of Thieves. So you play it for like a few days, and you're like, oh yeah, I had a good time. And you just don't play it again for another 6 months. Yeah, and that's kind of my thoughts on Sea of Thieves. It has a lot of mechanics. It has fishing, cooking, getting drunking, fighting, treasure hunting. What more could you want in a pirate game? I kind of wish I added more drip options. I want more drip in Sea of Thieves. Can we get more drip in Sea of Thieves? Rare, I beg. But the other game I mostly played this month was Super Mario 64, baby! Yes, I've gone and done it. I actually played a game that I said I'd play. And not only that, I didn't just play it, I finished it. And yeah, I have thoughts on the game. But firstly, I just want to say, Mario 64, the game is in fact older than me by quite a bit. And because of that, that's definitely going to affect my opinion on the game. Because, you know, a lot of the people who first played like Mario 64 that was like the first 3D game they ever played. Like, I know 3D games existed before Super Mario 64, but like, they weren't as good. Like, the 3D wasn't executed as well as it was in this game. And you know, obviously I've played a lot of other platformers. I've played other Mario games. I'm pretty sure like the first Mario game I beat was Super Mario Odyssey. And yeah, I had fun playing that game. So obviously, you know, no rose tinted glasses here. Look at them. They're clear, you can see me. You can see my eyes in the natural colour. And I feel like Mario 64 holds up. The movement is decent. I feel like it's not as responsive as like a lot of modern games, but it still holds up really well. I feel like the responsiveness also probably might be a me problem. You know, I timing and precision and like hand-eye coordination is not my thing, so that probably doesn't help. But yeah, the movement's decent. The hardest thing in the game is the camera. I don't know about the original N64 version, but you can move the camera in the what was it? Nintendo? No, it's Mario 3D All Stars. I think that's the name of the game. Yeah, it's one with like 64, Sunshine and Galaxy. In that version, you can move the camera, which does help a bit, and sometimes it just makes things worse. The camera moving by itself, I absolutely hate, because like the movement is based off the camera. So like sometimes you'd be turning around the corner which has a slope on. So you'd be turning, you'd be going straight, and then the camera starts moving, and your straight suddenly becomes like a left, so your character goes on the slope, and then they fall down and they die. That's so annoying. Well, it doesn't die. Like the camera and precision do not go well. Yeah, I had a good time in the game. It has a lot of personality. I feel like a lot of the levels are memorable, but that might just be because I like recently finished it. You know, the characters in the game, like, what's his name? I can't remember. I'm really bad with names. But the Koopa who runs, he's sick. Oh, there's the penguins. The penguin who races you down the slide. There's guys who push you off things. Those guys are annoying. Like, I feel like all the levels are memorable. You gotta respect what they've done. Like, at the time this game was made, they had very limited resources with what they could do with the game. You know, cartridge size. They probably like time constraints too, because it was a system seller game. So big up to the Nintendo team who cooked this up. I really like the gameplay philosophy. All levels are open, and they have like different goals and stuff, which you don't even have to do in order. And I feel like the game just has a lot of openness around. Like, I played the game and I've skipped an entire main level. Is that on purpose? No, I don't know where that main level is. I generally don't have any clue how to access that main level. But I remember seeing it in the credits, like, wait, that's Monkey. I haven't seen Monkey. Yeah, so you're able to beat the game without even finishing it, technically. In the end, it took me about 10 hours to beat. Which I know for a fact is a lot longer than most speedruns. So I'm like really tempted to watch a Mario 64 speedrun and just see like the difference between what I did and them, and like just destroy my ego. The design really focuses on the levels. You can see why the levels are like iconic. It's because the game like forces, like it doesn't force you, but it like heavily what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, what's the word? No, this is pissing me off. Implied? No. Mate, what is the word? Because I can't even explain without using that word, but I can't remember what that word is. Coerces you into like, it heavily coerces you into replaying levels and like exploring them, I guess, which like makes you like grow really accustomed to them, which is probably what made a lot of them iconic. It's also like a really smart use of the of like what I imagine was like limited cartridge size, or like the limited resources they had to make new levels. So just by forcing the player to just like replay a bunch, that was really big brain stuff. People still use the word big brain. This free design also kind of a bit silly sometimes, you know. An example of this, in the game there are 3 caps you can unlock. There's like the one that lets you go through walls, the one that makes Mario metal, and the flight cap. And I had unlocked 2 of these caps, the metal and the wall one, but I had absolutely no idea how to unlock the flying cap. After a certain point, I got to the sand level and I was like, I think I might actually need the cap to this level to actually get like most of the stars. And I feel like you do. So I had to just search it up in the end, and like it's the stupidest way possible. So what you have to do is you have to go into the main castle, and then in the middle there's like just a beam of light. So you have to then go into zoom in and look up at the like where the source of the light, and then you get transported into a level. That's so stupid because like there's like so many windows of like light coming through in the game. Like what normal player would think that? Like I just don't get it. And I think the flying cap also is like quite important in the game. Like I wouldn't be surprised if there is a tip in the game. I did come across a few tips and toads, which did help a lot. Like on the 2nd floor of the castle, to unlock on the level you have to like jump through a painting that isn't there, but you can see it in a mirror. I learned that from a toad. But in my experience, I didn't find a toad that would be like, yeah, the flying cap, look up in the castle. And yeah, just one more thing that I hate about the game. It's the Bowser boss fights. Oh my god. You have to go behind Bowser, hit him, which isn't that hard. Sometimes it can be, 'cause he just turns around really fast. But then you have to spin him around and throw him into these like bombs that are on the side, like off the levels. But I actually hate it. My aim is so bad. I'm so bad at them. It doesn't help that like, because the game is quite old, the momentum doesn't work how you'd think. Like you'd think, oh, you're spinning, so you'd let go here for it to go like that way. But it literally just like, as soon as Mario lets go, he just goes flying in that direction. But like when you're spinning really fast, you kind of just got to give it the luck at that point. But also really added to the stakes. I feel like the game is quite good at that. The game, by all means, is not difficult. Especially, I'm sure if you got used to it, the game must be like easy peasy. But I feel like for a casual player, it tiptoes really well between challenging and being challenging enough. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on Mario 64. Banger soundtrack. You know, sometimes I just like stop and I just listen to music. To the music. Will I play Sunshine by the end of next month? No. I feel like I'll probably start Sunshine in April. I won't finish it. Maybe May I'll finish it. Maybe, no promises. But I'm hopefully planning on starting it. I won't talk about it unless I finish it. I think that's gonna be my rule with single player games. No talking about it until I finish it. With like multiplayer games like Sea of Thieves and like Fortnite, I don't really care. Or like, I guess Palworld technically could be a single player, but I don't care. I do what I want. Story driven single player games, there we are. And that's kind of it for this month. Well, I guess that's this March over. Bye.